There's a bar past the bridge where the daylight dies, with a crooked red sign in a room full of lies. I parked my machine in the pouring rain, walked in dragging every mile of pain. The bartender nodded like he knew my kind, men with nowhere left and too much behind. He poured one slow, said closing soon. I said then make it strong enough to bury the moon. There's a photograph burning in my wallet still, a little white house on a Tennessee hill. I could have stayed, I could have made it right, but I chose this road in the teeth of the night. At the last bar before dawn, I drank to everything gone, to the hands I let go, to the hearts I broke, to the brothers sleeping where the wild wind blows. When the bottle runs dry and the shadows move on, I kick that engine till the guilt is gone. A man don't heal, he just learns to ride on. From the last bar before dawn, ride on before dawn, drink it down, then ride on. An old man beside me had a patch on his coat, a faded skull and a name in gold. He said I had a son with your same hard eyes, lost him one winter on a midnight ride. I looked at the floor, didn't know what to say. He raised up his glass and looked away. We sat there silent like two condemned men, both praying to hear those engines again. The jukebox coughed out a slow minor chord, like a rusted confession to an angry lord. I left 2 bills and my fear on the bar, then carried that silence back out to the door. Light breaking over the pines like mercy, arriving 30 years behind. For a second I thought I could turn around, find that old front porch, lay my burden down. But some doors close, some names fade, some debts live longer than the choices we made. So I pulled my gloves on, let the cold rain fall, and rode for the ones who can't ride it all. Here's to the lost, here's to the damned, here's to the love that slipped through my hands. Here's to the road, here's to the pain, here's to riding straight through the rain. At the last bar before dawn, I drink to everything gone, to the hands I let go, to the hearts I broke, to the brothers sleeping where the wild wind blows. When the bottle runs dry and the shadows move on, I'll kick that engine till the guilt is gone. A man don't heal, he just learns to ride on. From the last bar before dawn. Last glass empty, first light coming on. I leave my ghost at the last bar before dawn. live my hometown under a moon gone red, with my father's curse still loud in my head. He said, boy, that road will take all you own. I laughed through my teeth and I rode alone. I had a girl with a cross on her chain, soft blue eyes and a heart without stain. She prayed I'd return before the winter came. I sent back silence and carried the shame. Now every motel room got a Bible drawer. Every page says what I already know. There ain't no mercy in a runaway heart when it leaves good love bleeding in the dark. Saints don't ride this far into the night with whiskey breath and knuckles white. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone and chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine and the weight of who we are. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start. But saints don't ride this far, ride far, ride hard. No halo, just scars. I met a drifter at a roadside fire, gray beard shaking, eyes still tied. He said, I rode 40 years to outrun my name, but a man ain't free when he drags his chains. He held a letter with an unopened seal, said, from my son, but I don't know how to feel. Then he fed it to the flame with a trembling hand, and I saw my own end in that broken man. I pulled a picture from beneath my coat, found the old address on the back she wrote. Maybe that door closed years before, but I ain't dying without knocking once more. Saints don't ride this far into the night with a whiskey breath and knuckles white. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone and chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine and the weight of who we are. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start. But saints don't ride this far. With the porch painted blue, a child's old bicycle, flowers in bloom. A man answered softly, said, can I help you, friend? I saw her through the curtain, then turned again. I didn't knock, didn't call her name. Some apologies only reopen pain. So I left that cross by the mailbox light and whispered, you deserved a better life. I ain't redeemed, I ain't made clean, but I finally faced what my leaving means. No prayer can change what these hands let fall, but a man can stop running before he loses all. This far into the night with a whiskey breath and knuckles white. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone and chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine and a healing scar. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start. Yeah, saints don't ride this far. Ride on. lost by the roadside, dawn in my heart, no saint behind me, just a man making a start. Spoke softly in a room painted gray. Said you got some months, maybe less if you ride. I buttoned my jacket, put the papers away. Said I've been dying slow since my brothers died. My bike said waiting in the hospital sun, chrome catching light like a loaded gun. I coughed in my glove, tasted iron and smoke, then kicked that old engine till the silence broke. I got no children waiting at home, no woman's hand to soften my bones, just a list of names and a final ride to visit every grave before I join their side. Bury my boots by the highway, point them west where the wild wind runs. Lay my jacket down in the red dirt, let it fade beneath the burning sun. Don't dress me clean, don't speak me holy. I was rough as the road I chose, just bury my boots by the highway where a restless old rider goes. Ride west, ride slow, lay him down where the wild winds blow. First stop was Danny beneath an oak, left him a lighter and one last smoke. Then old Ray Stone on a gravel hill. I said, save me a seat, I'm riding still. At sundown I reached where Maria lay, the only good woman I pushed away. Her name on marble made my knees give in. I laid down roses and confessed my sin. I said I loved you, though I never stayed. I know that ain't worth the price you pay. The wind moved gently through the cemetery grass, like a hand letting go of the past. Bury my boots by the highway, point them west where the wild wind runs. Lay my jacket down in the red dirt, let it fade beneath the burning sun. Don't dress me clean, don't speak me holy. I was rough as the road I chose, just bury my boots by the highway where a restless old rider goes. Quit near an old roadside bar. Funny how mercy knows where you are. The owner came out, said you look unwell. I laughed, friend, I'm almost done raising hell. He brought me water, sat by my side, didn't ask the reason for tears in my eyes. I gave him my key, said when my time is through, take her out west, let her see one more view. No fear in my chest, no debt left unpaid. I kissed every ghost that this hard road made. The horizon turned red, the engine sang low. fighter goes. Boots in the red dirt, wind in the chrome, last road behind me. I'm finally home. There's an iron bridge north of Baton Rouge, where the river runs black and the lights burn blue. Me and Johnny crossed it 100 times, two young devils on borrowed lives. He kept the brass bell tied beneath his bar, said it scared bad spirits from traveling far. The night he went down, that bell rang once, then silence rolled in like a loaded gun. I pulled that bell from a shattered frame, kept it 12 years beside his name. But a promise buried still drags a man till he finishes what his brother began. Ring that bell at Mercy Bridge for the fallen boys and the lives we live, for the whiskey nights and the vows we broke, for a brother still riding through the smoke. Let the river rise, let the cold wind roll. I got his last wish burning in my soul. Tell his son here's why his father never came. Ring that bell and speak his name. Ring low, river roll, ride on, brother's soul. Down in Lafayette, only 2 years old when his sun went black. I told myself the kid was better alone than hearing road tales from a man like me. But I found him working in a tire shop base, same dark eyes, same crooked way. He saw that bell hanging off my machine, said my mama's got a picture of one like these. I couldn't lie, couldn't ride away. I said, son, your daddy saved my life that day. He pushed me clear when the steel came fast, and he gave you his tomorrow with his last. Ring that bell at Mercy Bridge for the fallen boys and the lives we live, for the whiskey nights and the vows we broke, for a brother still riding through the smoke. Let the river rise, let the cold wind roll. I got his last wish burning in my soul. Now his son knows why his father never came. Ring that bell and speak his name. Just closed his fist around that bell like a sacred gift, said take me there where my father fell. So 2 bikes rolled out beneath that bell. Let the bridge rail, he tied it down, let that brass voice shake the ground, and said, oh man, you carried him far, I'll carry him now wherever we are. The river below, new engines high, one old greed finally learned to ride. The bell rang clear through the breaking dawn, like Johnny saying, boys, roll on. letting go. There's a chapel made of boards outside Santa Fe, with a crooked wooden door and the paint worn away. I pulled in shaking with a sunset red, a saddlebag full of letters I never sent. One for a woman who waited too long, one for a daughter who grew up gone, one for myself when my hands were clean, before I traded love for a running machine. I took out a match and I held it high, felt 40 hard years staring through my eyes. A man can't burn every scar he earned, but he can face the smoke when the pages burn. One last match in the desert wind for the man I was, in the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the miles I bought at a terrible cost. Let the flame rise up, let the black smoke roll. I ain't burning memories, I'm freeing my soul. When the ash falls down and the night rolls in, I'll ride lighter with the desert wind. Burn slow, let it go. Desert wind, carry it home. I found a small cross in the chapel dust, someone left behind when they ran out of trust. I ain't been praying since I was 19, but I held that wood like it knew what I mean. Outside my old bike coughed and shook, same as my hands when I opened her book. A little girl drawn in purple and blue said, "Daddy, come back, I've been waiting for you." The ink had faded, but the words cut clean. No highway ever ran as far as me. I put that drawing inside my vest, said maybe old sinners still get wanted. One last match in the desert wind for the man I was, in the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the miles I bought at a terrible cost. Let the flame rise up, let the black smoke roll. I ain't burning memories, I'm freeing my soul. When the ash falls down and the night rolls in, I'll ride lighter with the desert wind. Burned every letter but the one with her name. Some files release you, some show you the blame. I turned that envelope over in my hand, saw an address written in another state. Maybe she'll hate me, maybe she should, maybe sorry don't repair what it could. But I ain't dying with the truth unsaid, or leaving another ghost in my stead. Old chrome shaking, new road wide, crossing my pocket, drawing inside. No promise of mercy, no guarantee, just a door somewhere waiting on me. One last match in the desert wind for the man I was, in the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the life still left after paying the cost. Let the flame die down, let the dawn begin. I ain't the same fool who rode in when the ash falls cold sun breaks thin, I'll ride forward with the desert wind. Crossing my pocket, her picture within. One last mile in the desert wind. Flickering sign, coffee gone cold at the county line. A waitress wiping down an empty booth said you looked like a man still running from truth. I smiled like a fool, left $1 in change, walked into a wind that remembered my name. My bike coughed smoke like an old man's prayer, and the dead road quiet in the midnight air. I spent my young blood working for the night, breaking every good thing that tried to make me right. Now the road keeps time with a heart gone cold, and the headlights dig through the stories I told. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghost that I never could fix. Got a moon like a bullet and a tank half gone, a soul punching in till the break of dawn. Let the blacktop judge me, let the engine confess. I wear my worst nights underneath this vest, when the whole world sleeps and the lost men exist. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, night shift. Highway 6, roll on through the mist. My brother Ray had a shop downtown, could fix any mold and never let me down. I stole from his drawer for a bottle one night. He still took my call when I lost that fight. By the time I came back with my head on straight, cancer had written his closing date. He gave me his gloves, said quit wasting your breath, then laugh like a man not afraid of death. I keep those gloves folded under my seat, his grease in the leather, his strength in me. Every time my hands grip the bars too tight, I hear him saying, brother, ride it right. I'm on a graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghost that I never could fix. Got a moon like a bullet and a tank half gone, a soul punching in till the break of dawn. Let the blacktop judge me, let the engine confess. I wear my worst nights underneath this vest, when the whole world sleeps and the lost men exist. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6. Where the mesquite grows, laid down a wrench and a single rose. Said, Ray, I ain't fixed, but I'm trying still. Wind rolled soft over that lonely hill. I ain't worthy of the things you gave, but I won't let your love lie down. blackout on Highway 6. One more mile, one less lie, one less bottle in the dead of night. The dawn ain't mercy, but it gives a man one more chance to do what he can. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghosts, learning how to live. Got a moon fading out and a tank still strong. My brother in my hands as I roll toward dawn. Let the blacktop witness, let the engine confess. I carry his name underneath this vest. When the morning breaks through the smoke and mist, I'll ride out clean from Highway 6. Raise old gloves, sun coming through. One more road, I'll ride true. I knew a king with a rusted back, gold-toothed grin and a switchblade smile. He ran this road like a promised land with a whiskey oath and a steady hand. Had 12 good brothers wearing his sign, swore they'd stand till the end of time. But money came talking, pride got loud, and a kingdom fell without a sound. I saw the throne in a junkyard rain, chrome turned red with a brother's blame. A man builds high, but the hard truth shows every crown turns dirt when the cold wind blows. We wear crowns made of dust, ride on blood, ride on trust. Got no palace, got no throne, just a hard black mile and a heart of stone. Let the proud men fall, let the lies rust. You found what a man is when the wheels give up, when the last flag burns and the night comes down. Only ghosts keep wearing that crown. Dust to dust, ride or rust. No king now, just us. When he gave me a patch, said, boy, this life don't give nothing back. Taught me how to fight, taught me how to run, never taught me when loyalty was done. The night they buried him outside town, half the crew never came around. I placed his ring in the red clay ground. He looked more peaceful without that crown. I ain't riding for a dead man's pride, ain't feeding hate till it eats me alive. I keep the cold, but I leave the lie. A brotherhood ain't supposed to die. We wear crowns made of dust, ride on blood, ride on trust. Got no palace, got no throne, just a hard black mile and a heart of stone. Let the proud men fall, let the lies rust. You found what a man is when the wheels give up, when the last flag burns and the night comes down. Only ghosts keep wearing that crown. To that burial hill with his old club ring and a bottle still. Said, you made me hard, you made me strong, but you taught me some roads lead men wrong. I poured that whiskey, threw down that ring, heard the dirt swallow everything. No more kings, no more chains, just an engine turning through the pain. I keep the brothers who kept it true. I leave the poison that pulled us through. No throne above me, no grave below, just the ones I love and the miles to go. We wear crowns made of dust, right on blood, right on trust. Got no palace, got no throne, just a hard black mile and a heart of stone. Let the proud men fall, let the liars rust. You find what a man is when the wheels give up, when the last flag burns and the night comes down. I'll leave that crown buried in the ground. Still I roll. Found his jacket in a cedar box, still smell like gasoline and smoke. A silver eagle stitched on the back, a little torn where the asphalt cracked. His old keys were hanging by the door, they hadn't moved since the night before. Mama said, leave what belongs to the dead. I put that leather on instead. It fit too heavy on my shoulders that night, like a sin, like a vow, like a warning sign. I heard his voice when the engine cried, don't let this road be where courage dies. I'm riding in a dead man's leather, through the rain, through the fire, through whatever, his blood in the dust, his name in the wind. A brother don't leave when the breathing ends. Let the cold moon stare, let the blacktop burn. Every mile I take is a mile he earned, till the last wheel stops and the night says never. I'll be riding in a dead man's leather. Ride on, dead man's leather. Ride on, through whatever. To run from the county lights, two steel horses tearing up the night. He took the heat when I lost control, said a brother's word is worth more than gold. Then a drunk crossed lanes on a Sunday dawn. By the time I got there, he was already gone. I held his hand in the shattered glass and begged that moment not to pass. Now every engine sounds like his goodbye. Every barroom shadow got his eyes. I got no peace, but I got this creed. A man lives on in the ones he freed. I'm riding in a dead man's leather, through the rain, through the fire, through whatever, his blood in the dust, his name in the wind. A brother don't leave when the breathing ends. Let the cold moon stare, let the blacktop burn. Every mile I take is a mile he earned, till the last wheel stops and the night says never. I'll be riding in a dead man's leather. cross, laid down a flask for everything lost. Said I should have been there, should have taken your place. Then the wind hit hard against my face. Maybe the dead don't want our shame, maybe they just want us to carry the flame. So I zipped that jacket up to my throat, turned toward the dark and let that engine spoke. I don't ride for glory, I don't ride for gold. I ride for the stories that never get told, for the men who fall, for the vows we keep, for the names we carry when the world goes to sleep. I'm riding in a dead man's leather, through the rain, through the fire, through whatever. His blood in the dust, his name in the wind. A brother don't leave when the breathing man's left. The cold moon stare, let the blacktop burn. Every mile I take is a mile he earned, till the last wheel stops and the night says never. I'll be riding in a dead man's leather, his name in the wind, his weight on my shoulders. Ride on, brother, ride on. There's a motel sign bleeding red through the rain, a half-dead jukebox calling my name. My boots hit the gravel, my hands feel old. I traded my sleep for a heart gone cold. Got a scar from a promise I couldn't keep, got a picture of her where the shadows sleep. She lived with the sunrise, I stayed with the road, and the weight of a life that I never told. I put my regrets on the passenger side, let the engine roll where a good man died. There's no turning back when the sky turns black, only one more mile and a memory attack. I got whiskey on the blacktop, fire in my veins, a heart full of thunder and a head full of chains. I ride through the darkness where the lost men go, with a dead man's prayer and a radio low. Let the tires sing loud, let the night take hold. I ain't chasing heaven, I ain't scared of cold. When the devil calls my number from the side of the road, I'll pull one down and keep rolling along. Roll on, roll on along. Pull one down and roll on. I remember that summer by the county line, 4 loud engines and cheap red wine. Billy wore a grin like he couldn't lose. Now his patch hangs quiet beside my blues. We were young enough to call danger free, mean enough to think death wouldn't see. But the road takes payment, the road takes names, leaves you one last rider to carry the flame. I don't need a cross hanging over my bed, I got brotherhood living inside my head. Every mile marker, every broken bone says a man ain't finished till he quits moving on. I got whiskey on the blacktop, fire in my veins, a heart full of thunder and a head full of chains. I ride through the darkness where the lost men go, with a dead man's prayer and a radio low. Let the tires sing every bar I know, an empty name where the good ones go. I tried to drown them, tried to forget, but whiskey don't kill what a man regrets. So I carry the hurt, I carry the blame, I carry the fire, and I carry the names. And if I go down where the cold winds blow, let them say I went down, still holding the rope. No white flag in this outlaw land. One last match, one last smoke, one last vow that I never broke. I got whiskey on the blacktop, fire in my veins, a heart full of thunder and a head full of chains. I ride through the darkness where the lost men go, with a dead man's prayer and the radio low. Let the tide sing loud, let the night take hold. I ain't chasing heaven, I ain't scared of cold. When the devil calls my number from the side of the road, I'll pour one down and keep rolling along. I'll pour one down and keep rolling along. Whiskey on the blacktop, the names in my soul. One more night, I roll alone. I rode into Memphis with the river running high, a stolen memory and a storm in my eyes. Beale Street sleeping under blue neon rain, same old corner, still remember my shame. There was a club in an alley where the back doors breathe, where I made one promise I was too weak to keep. A brother named Ellis took a fall meant for me, while I rode out west pretending I was free. He did 8 hard years with his mouth shut tight, never gave my name, never asked me to write. Now I got his release date burned in my vest, and a dead no highway ever laid to rest. I got a midnight dead in Memphis town, a brother I buried while he still walked around. Got his time on my conscience, got his blood in my pride. No more empty road where a coward can hide. Let the river roll black, let the thunder begin. I can't buy back years, but I can face my sin. When that prison gate opens and the truth comes down, I'll pay my midnight debt in Memphis town. Pay it down, Memphis town. No more running, turn around. I parked by the gate at 8:45, held his old helmet from another life. When he stepped outside with a gray in his beard, he looked right through me like I wasn't there. I said, Ellis, I know what I stole. He lit up a smoke, said you stole more than roads. My little boy grew while I learned prison walls. My woman quit coming after my 3rd year gone. I reached for the key, he said, take what is mine. He said, a bike don't replace no lost time. You wanna pay you something, Memphis town. We rode to his son's apartment, south side of town. He stayed on that sidewalk, couldn't make a sound. I said, "Knock, brother." He shook his head, said, "What does a father say when his boy thought him dead?" I said, "Tell him the truth, don't dress it in gold. Tell him you're sorry and you're trying to hold." That door swung open, the young man stood still, then said, "Dad," and the whole night healed. I stood in the rain outside their embrace, felt some old iron fall out of place. A dead ain't ended when a man says his name, but tonight I stopped adding more weight to the chain. I had a midnight dead in Memphis town, a brother I buried while he still walked around. Got his years on my conscience, got truth by my side, and I'll spend what remains helping men what I denied. Let the river roll on, let the storm water cleanse. Some debts never vanish, but a man can make amends. When the sunrise broke over that rain-washed ground, I faced my midnight dead in Memphis town. Stand your ground, turn your ground, turn your ground. Memphis behind me, brother beside, depth still heavy, but no place to hide. I rode through a town where I once had friends. Same corner store, same railroad bend. The paint had peeled from the old pool hall. My name wasn't carved there anymore. There was a girl who knew my scars by heart, said I was born with a leaving part. I told her someday I'd circle back, then vanished west on a midnight black. Years turn a man to a stranger's face. Even memories move when you don't stay. I thought the miles would keep my legend alive, but the world rolled on while I just survived. The road won't say my name no more, won't leave a light outside my door. I gave it my blood, I gave it my youth. It took every lie and left me the truth. Let the wheels run cold, let the night wind claim all the pride I carried like a burning flame. I roared for forever, but forever changed. Now the road won't say my name, no name, no home. Still ride alone. I found her working at a roadside stand, silver in her hair, a ring on her hand. She looked through me first, then her eyes went wide, said, "I heard you were dead sometime in '95. I laughed too hard, then I looked away, said, "Death and me never fixed a date." She poured me coffee, asked where I'd been. I said, "Mostly losing what I should have kept then." Her little boy called from a pickup truck. truck. She smiled in a way that said life grew up. I wanted to tell her I still dreamed her face, but a man don't steal peace from the life he replaced. The road won't say my name no more, won't leave a light outside my door. I gave it my blood, I gave it my youth, took every lie and left me the truth. Let the wheels run cold, let the night wind claim all the pride I carried like a burning flame. I rode for forever, but forever changed. Now the road won't say my name. Wrapped up for the road, said you don't have to keep carrying alone. I almost told her I didn't know how, almost asked if it was too late now. But her husband waved from the driver's seat, good steady man with a smile at me. So I touched my hat, said you look alright, and took my old ghost back into the night. No one stole her, no one stole my years. I traded them myself for gears and fear. But the truth ain't cruel when you let it stay. It's the first clean sign on a different way. The road won't say my name no more, but I don't need it to keep score. I gave it my blood, I gave it my youth. Tonight I ride with nothing but truth. Let the wheels turn slow, let the old wind change, let the dust fall off every borrowed name. I rode for forever till forever changed. Now I'm free if the road forgets my name. No name behind me, no lie ahead, just a road still open and a heart not dead. County road empty, running late. A blacktop ribbon turns into stone, where a man meets every truth alone. I stopped by the hill with the wooden cross, bottle in my hand for the boys we lost. The names cut deep where the wild weeds grow, and the night stood still on that gravel road. I said, brothers, I ain't been living right, been chasing the dark, been feeding the fight. But I heard that wind through the dead oak trees, like their old voices calling back to me. Sing me a gravel road requiem for the wild ones gone, and the man I've been, for the broken wheels and the promises burned, for every lesson I was too proud to learn. Let the dust rise high, let the night unfold. I got scars for silver and regret for gold, till my last breath falls where the cold winds blow. Sing me a requiem on that and a goodbye kiss. He had clean hands and a woman's trust before the road ground everything to dust. She begged me once by the kitchen door, said, "You keep leaving, I can't love you more." I heard her crying, still turn that key. Some wounds ain't done till they set you free. I ain't asking for the past returned or a clean white soul where my sins once burned. Just one more night to face what I know and leave something honest on that gravel road. Sing me a gravel road requiem for the wild ones gone and the man I've been, for the broken wheels and the promises burned, for every lesson I was too proud to learn. Let the dust rise high, let the night unfold. I got scars for silver and regret for gold, till my last breath falls where the cold winds blow. Sing me a requiem on that gravel road. I poured 3 shots in the Tennessee dirt. One for the dead, one for the hurt, one for the fool still wearing this skin, trying like hell to be human again. I can't undo what my hands let fall, can't answer every graveyard call, but I can ride straight, I can say their names, I can carry the love and put down the blame. Hear the thunder underneath my wheels, that's the sound of a wound that finally feels. No running now, no hiding low, I'm taking my soul down that gravel road. Sing me a gravel road requiem for the wild ones gone and the man I've been, for the broken wheels and the promises burned, for every lesson I was too proud to learn. Let the dust rise high, let the night unfold. I got scars for silver and regret for gold, till my last breath falls where the cold winds blow. Sing me a requiem on that gravel road. 3 shots poured, 1 engine low, carrying me home down that gravel road.